Hey folks, welcome back to FurnaceClans. I don't know if all of you folks who follow my videos follow the thread that's attached to this single pick challenge over on Bay 12. But for those of you who are unaware, I recently had to do a upgrade. I upgraded from Vista to Windows 8.1, and that broke Fraps. So this is now being recorded with Debut. Debut allows for home use only for non-commercial purposes, which this isn't. And generally, we're going to see how all this works. I've done some tests, and it seems like quality's good, so off we go. So since your last visit, we've had a new guest pop by. Merding is a deity. Take a look at him. He's a giant feathered marmot, twisted into humanoid form. Knows and intones names of all its encounters, clear feathers, poisonous vapors. He is also a diplomat. He happens to be a diplomat from the human civilization, Belhalanba, the Kingdom of Girls. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about a giant, clear-feathered marmot being the deity of the Kingdom of Girls. I'm a little jealous. But anyway, he's come to visit. Not entirely sure how the hell we're going to let him in. We don't have a lot of undead kicking around, which helps. We've got some wild animals out there. We've got a trader who's confused. We've got a human corpse still sitting down in the OMG. We have to try and make sure this guy doesn't want a path into the OMG. We're going to take a quick look at what's going on here. I want to make sure he's not that big. So we're going to check him out. Just a squat humanoid. So we're going to seal up the front door to the OMG so that our visiting diplomat doesn't try and path into that. Now up on the first floor, we're going to open up the front door. We're going to see what happens. This may be bad. We'll find out. In the meanwhile, we have 33 citizens. Depending on time of day and what's going on, I'll have between 20 idlers and 2. So this can be kind of wonky sometimes. Right now, I think we're doing a harvest on rope reed fiber. Let's go see how our deity is doing. Okay, he's got some guards with him. That helped. Looks like we've got a ton of merchants on... Oh, we also got merchants visiting. So, looks like the diplomat is bringing merchants with us. Zenek. Okay, so I need to head over here. We need to put some goods in here. Let's see. I know we've got a ton of totems, so what we're going to do is instead of trading away our food, we did create totems and stuff like that. So we're going to throw some of that in there. Grass. There we go. You're taking their sweet time getting up here. Okay. We're going to call up the squad. We're just going to move them. We're going to bring them up to protect the deity coming in because I really don't know if I want to go to war with a civilization that deity. So hopefully they'll keep these guys clear. And we can get these other diplomats indoors. We have an ambush. Of course we have an ambush right now. Just to make life more curious. The ambush is over here by the trade depot. One of them slipped inside. Alright, we'll have to kill him. This is the one problem with working off the map edges is you can end up with ambushes indoors. So, let's change the plan. We're going to bring Squad C, move. Bring these guys over to here to protect the traders. How many ambushes we got? We got 3. Once these guys get back indoors, we're going to seal the front door back up. We got a lot going on. I may have just killed FurnaceClans trying to get a deity involved. So I'm speeding this battle up a bunch. It's relatively boring, unless you're in the middle of it. A couple of goblins got in down on the trader depot, as I mentioned, and there were 3 of them. We killed them. The Baroness ended up getting into melee combat for a bit. Her steel helm blocked a headshot, and the rest of her steel armor kept her from getting too badly banged up. Up on the surface, Myrding, the deity, ends up brawling with a bunch of undead. He spawns a bunch of poison gas on them to no effect, hits himself with it to no effect. His paws get a little cut up, but no serious damage. Eventually, all this happens on the surface. That's him attacking. Dust cloud comes in. So what I do is I move the rest of my soldiers up the trader's corridor a little bit, just to double check to make sure nothing's hiding. Then I release them to go clear some bodies. After that, we just get back to business. Another freaking ambush. Yeah, they're all over Myrding. They're coming in behind. Alright, we're going to shut the front doors. We're going to hope none of our civilians are up on surface anywhere. The Axe Dwarf is fighting the deity. Oh! I think the deity just fell down into where she can... Okay, if I take this wall down, the deity who just dropped down here, who's actually pretty badly banged up, he's got cuts, some bruises. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set this wall to come down. We'll have to put it back up to protect from flyers, but we can do that. Need to make sure safe and sound is set for here. Okay, so we'll have somebody take that wall down so the deity can get in there. And the goblins are fighting the undead on the surface. So once that comes down, the deity should wander inside. Or will go to war with us. One or the other. Come on, get in here. There we go. We'll just put that wall right back up. Are we still dragging stuff to the depot? No. What's Andrew Khan doing? Because he's our trader. Okay, he's trading at depot. Let's see what they brought us. I'll bring it back when I get done with the trade screen. I'll let you know what I pick up. Whoops. It looks like we got a blue peacock corpse. It's snuck inside when we weren't looking. We're going to have to take him out real fast. So, squad. See, kill. That takes care of that. Let's dump the body. Okay, squad's already done. I've got one guy in the white for happiness down here. Not a big deal. As long as somebody dumps that body in the near future. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Andrew Khan's gone to brew drinks, so I'll bring it back when trade starts. Or when I'm done trading. Well, once again, they didn't bring cloth, but they brought me some thread, so we'll convert that, and we'll just trade these guys out of here. I wicked overpaid them, but that's okay. So we're just going to unrequest the trader. No goods to be moved. And we'll check on our diplomat. There's our dip. You think he's just wandering around looking for our Baroness. So, yeah, whoops. I've let another Titan get through. He's gonna break up some hatches and mechanisms, and then he'll go wander off somewhere. I've already sealed up the front door. This guy happens to be a flyer. Feathered flatworm, has wings, moves about. He's kind of deadly. Bit of a pain in the butt, actually. I left the front door open, but nothing's going to path for a little bit. The diplomat's still wandering around trying to chat with us, so... Yep, there he goes. Now, once my minecart hits him again, there we go. Took him out again. So we're just going to try and park him there. Now, I've marked off up here where I'm eventually going to build some lava drops. It's going to expand the magma system just a little bit more. Why not? Go nuts, right? So eventually I'll do that. I'm probably going to end up stealing power from this from this dwarven reactor, which powers the other side. So it looks like Myrding finally got around to meeting with Andercon. Yes, I'm sure there's much to discuss. We'll see what's going on. I've been watching my minecart system go here with the power and just making sure that everything worked to fill the lava. Okay, yeah, we'll finish peeking into the conversation. Now, who's missing? Oh. I haven't looked at this in a bit. Looks like we're missing some folks. Okay. And we'll build out any extra slabs we have. Ooh, that been bad. Luckily no ghosts have been popping up. And it has been an honor to meet me. He bids me farewell. That was useless. That was so worth all that work. Really, not. Bring it back for something interesting. Forgotten Beast Trap. Take 200,001. Hey guys, so I'm trying my Forgotten Beast Trap again, and in case this works, I'm recording it. Lurdy here, who is my green glass Forgotten Beast, who has caused me all sorts of problems trying to obsidianize him, has decided to get into the system. He should be going after this door here. Yep, he is. And we're just waiting on him to break that, and then he'll climb up the stairway for the next door. I've basically got a bait trail of doors for these guys to go after. Now, interestingly enough, I've got two more Forgotten Beasts that are stuck in holes that aren't moving. Now, Lurdy should have came up. He did. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lock him in. That lever controls this bridge down here, now that he's gone away from it. And he's eating this door. This trap has a slight problem in it. I forgot to build the final door for the trap. So we're going to see how this works out. Okay, he's sealed in. Okay, he's eating that. Now, one thing I've noticed is Forgotten Beasts seem to have a radius of 1 that goes around them for what happens with bridges, if they break or not when they're near them. So I have to be careful with these two bridges here. I have to wait for Lurdy to get back into this corner, and I'll show you what happens when he does. Just going to wait for him to eat this door. Okay, so Lurdy here has obliged me. He's gone into the back. So what we're going to do now... Oh crap, which lever's which? That one. We're going to pull this lever, and we're going to flood this area with magma. I wonder what he thinks he's breaking. Can he reach too high? No, I shouldn't even be able to get at that. Oops, I forgot to load the water cannon. That's quick enough. That is a aquifer tap. Okay, now, okay, there we go. We're pushing him into the back. Flooding that area with magma. Now what happens here is I've got an aquifer tap that will then, once both those floodgates are open, will fill this area, which is a series of hatches, with water to drop it from 2Z up, which should obsidianize him. As long as he's sitting in magma, we're going to wait for that to fill. Okay, my cistern isn't quite big enough to fully flood this zone, but that should be good enough. Now we're going to test the magma dump, or the water dump onto magma, and see if we can obsidianize it. And that's the water. A whole bunch of steam. Gotta love those clouds of dust. It works! We have just obsidianized a magma-proof beast by dropping water from 2Zs up. We've got crap loads of water trying to get in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the lever again to close the hatches above. While we're at it, we'll close the floodgates. and we will open up the lava dump to drop the remaining magma out of the system. What we'll do is we'll go in, we'll carve up some obsidian, reset the trap, and we'll still have to try and figure out a way to get sickle out of that hole that's down below, but one thing at a time. So there goes the magma. As you can see, it's pouring onto this obsidian block. I've ran this process a few times. Well, that's just lovely. I remember thinking I had this trap set up perfectly. Well, I dug out the obsidian here on the ground level, but this water is actually trapped by a muddy obsidian floor. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to get up there to dig that back out. Hey guys, so I wanted to show you guys this. I've modified the upper magma run. What we've done is we've installed a series of track stops. These are attached to a series of levers, positionally oriented. And what these do is you'll notice each one is next to a hole. That hole leads to a grate, and that grate falls directly across the eastern side of the run. This should help me hopefully start dealing with the forgotten beasts that sneak over to the right side. Can't quite work the left side yet. We're going to get over there. We're still sealed up in the front while we got all this figured out, and we're done also resetting the chamber for forgotten beast traps. Haven't quite figured out what else I'm going to do with that. There's a floodgate here on the right hand side where the obsidian floor will eventually exist. That leads to a stairway that drops down onto the grate, and that will dump our water out so that we can work intelligently against the obsidian that we're going to be forming. This time I remember to put in my door on the left hand side too. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the magma system. And while that gets going, one of the things I did was I stole some power from the northern dwarven water reactor that feeds the rollers down inside the OMG, and I set up another roller over here just to give it some more oomph as it goes by. We're going to have to fill up the cistern for the FB trap first. I could shut that off manually. I've also expanded the cistern for the FB trap a bit, so it's got a little more to fill down near the bottom, but it goes back up to 1 near the top. So if necessary, I can expand that a little further. So we're going to let that fill in, and I'll bring you back in a couple of minutes. Alright. Our cistern is now filled up to 2.2. Now, just in case you haven't seen this, this has expanded a lot since I've been playing with it. So it comes up here on the old run, which used to just hang a left and dump it in the OMG. Now it hangs a right, loops over here to fill the cistern, and comes on back. Pair of rollers to keep things moving and to stabilize speed. It now swings up here to the north, comes here to a roller that stabilizes speed, swings south past the magma dumpers. This is to fill the magma pit on the right side. This is to fill the magma pit on the left. Swings down, hits this booster, comes up, and then it does its drop pattern to go return. Down here, we still have the holding loop. The holding loop does have a roller in it for highest speed, just to keep things going. It hits this booster to get over the 2Z boost, the 2Z drop. We're about to start testing, because this track stop just cleared from the pressure plate that's in the cistern. The magma drop itself, so we're going to wait for the next cart to come by. I've got 7 carts on here at this point. Of length. Okay, that hit the right spot. Should splash down. Alright, what did we get? We got 2.7. Okay, so we got a 1-1 splash. That's fine. That'll help clear that out. Now the next one coming down should dump another batch. That splashes down. Okay, so, yep, I was right. 2 carts will give me a 1 high across 3 as it spreads, and then it'll dump down into the OMG sidewalls. Now, the one I need is the one that's over TIG here. So I need to activate this one, which is 4 from the bottom. So that's the one I want to leave active. So we're going to deactivate all the other track stops. Those will get pulled as they get pulled. So we're just dumping magma on the lane. This does break pathing, obviously. As you can see, the track stops are being shut off as we go. That one should drop. That one came up with no magma. This happens on occasion. Ah, there we go. Now we have some magma spreading. So it's kind of random as to which way it spreads, but it does get there. So we'll just let Tig's corpse get destroyed there. I was in the middle of something. Okay, it's destroying slowly, I hope. Okay, seriously? That's a lot of clouds of dust. Okay, it's getting destroyed slowly but surely. We're going to keep the magma pressure up, just to make sure it dies. There we go. We've destroyed Tig. Excellent. So this process works. It's a little quirky as to where the magma will deliver itself, but we'll get there. And so now I just need to shut off the magma system, and we'll have to put the carts back for when I need it again. Hey guys. Alright. I'm going to go after Sequel. Now, to do this, I'm doing the under-bridge dig technique. This is going to go to wild. Alright, so Sequel's here. He's stuck in a hole. Now remember, if you don't remember who Sequel is, he's my Weber. Now, he's been stuck in this hole for a while, so I'm going to dig him out from underneath. To do that, what I've done is I've set up a bridge here, and underneath that is a ramp. This will allow me to dig a ramp here, directly under Sequel. To get access and to build up this ramp, I had to build up a stairway and put some walls in, which I've now sealed back in. Once he gets in there, he'll be trapped by the bridge for a little bit until I pop it open, and my miner will escape. Once I pop that open, he'll chase down this door, he'll come over here, he'll run up this stairway, chase down this door, come down this stairway, come into here, and then chase down this door over here. Once he gets over here to eat this door, he should be about here. I'll seal this bridge up behind him. We'll lock him in. That'll be behind the fortifications here. This bridge will be sealed up. That's how my miner's going to escape. This bridge here is actually an exit bridge that if I need to, I can let him back out into the universe. Be careful when you do this. You can't dig this square because that's where the access corridor is, and you need a floor underneath it to be able to dig on that location. It's kind of weird when you're dealing with ramps. So he digs that out. Now, that should have dug out a hole directly underneath Sequel. Sequel, muddy fungi wood, pile of mud, 7-7 water, unusable diorite upward slope. That should have dug him out. Alright, let's see if we can dig the ramp next to him. We're going to let him out that way. Alright, that got the water moving. Alright, that gave Sequel a hole. There we go. Alright, apparently I couldn't dig directly underneath the Forgotten Beast, but I could dig right next to him. So that'll fill up. We'll get my miner out of there. I've recently reopened the OMG, so there's a lot of abuse going on over that way. Alright, so he's out. I'm going to seal up the bridge that he used to escape. Okay, so now he'll be sealed in here. I built 2 bridge levers. Which one? Alright, that's the Sequel drain bridge. We're going to pop that. Alright, so we just popped the lever. Let's see what we got going on downstairs. There we go. That's open. Now Sequel should move. Do something. Alright, so we just reopened his bridge. What I did was I put in some more doors. One really close as bait, and we're going to see how that works out. So that bridge is now open. Sequel is still sitting there like a lump on a log. I decided to try something else while I was kicking around waiting, and had to deal with a couple of goblins that got indoors. We've dug out a little extra because one of these locations is an unusable upward slope, the one that's underneath him. So I decided to dig him out so that he had cardinal vectors to be able to get downstairs, but that's not helping either. Hey guys, so in a fit of annoyance, I decided to drill another underbridge access from down here, and I popped open a hole that actually gave him access out. Now, for some reason or another, there's actually a tree where he was, which may have been the reason why I couldn't ramp up from below or something like that. It may not have been completely the FB's fault. Now, I don't know why he wouldn't move before, but now we've got Sequel down in here inside the rampways. Sequel, 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 there you are. Let's center on him. Okay, there's Sequel. Okay, so he escaped. I can actually get him into the main trap now. Excellent. Alright, so Once we get this finishing being reset, I've got the magma that's still waiting to drain out. I'm going to dig out the obsidian. Maybe we can try to catch sickle again. So, while all of this digging didn't do what I'd hoped for it to do, which was to drop sickle into a direct run into the web trap, it did allow me to let him escape. So this method is functional, just not for what I was trying to do with it. Well, not horrible, I guess. Hey guys, this is about maybe 3 years, 2-3 years, somewhere in there, after my last update inside this episode. What's happened here is a whole lot of nothing until I finally got sickle up into the area I wanted him for trapping. Now you'll notice I've got sickle in here, and I've also got Ocean in here. Ocean's just a standard forgotten beast. He's got some deadly blood, no big deal. He came in with sickle. I figured I finally had a chance to trap him. I wasn't going to fight it. I had tried to trap sickle a good 6 or 7 times. Every time he got too close to a door, and so he couldn't destroy it. So he was constantly bringing in others with him. One had deadly extracts, one spit. It was just a real pain in the butt. So we do have him in, and as you can tell, I've tested a little bit of the web trap. My original setup with the puppy way out here was way too far away. He couldn't even see him. So I had to bring the puppy a little closer. Now, the other problem is I had hoped that his webs would fill more of the room. They don't. They only reach out to about here, so they only go about 8 out. Another thing to be aware of is sickle has to be against the fortifications to shoot through them. So if he's up here in the back somewhere, like back here where Ocean is, he doesn't shoot anything. So I'm doing a bit of a redesign on this room. Other than that, not a heck of a lot else has happened. The humans are now at war with us. I failed to save one of their ambassadors. They haven't sent me a trade caravan since. I've got 57 enemies out there right now. We're currently doing some bombing runs because I've got a few guys stuck down in the magma. I just recently reopened the OMG up after doing a scrub on it, pulling out some gear. I've started to build out the area for my militia, and I've adjusted my birth rates to 50-100 for the fort to attempt to build up more children. We were getting immigrants in. We got 2 waves in, but that was about it. I haven't seen a migrant wave since we broke. Well, none of them have gotten in anyway. I've seen a few on the surface. So, not a heck of a lot else is going on. Down here on Cavern 1, if we pop up one, I got 4 forgotten beasts just hanging out up against the wall. 2 more of them were down here. I sent in a suicide dwarf to pop the trees loose so that they could escape out. I'd hoped these guys would eventually pass. So far, no luck. We've set up a giant dimple cup farm here. It was a lark. I had some idlers, so I figured why not for a bit. And we are grinding that to bits and pieces. I think we ran out of bags at one point, but I've set up a second corn, expanded some stockpiles. We've set up an archery range for the 2 main teams. The brass set, which is the original 7 plus help. I'm not entirely sure how they lost somebody, but whatever. And the gears of blockading, which are the second unit I built. And other than that, I'm going to be simply working on building up that militia area, trying to get my stockpile sorted out and cleaned up. I've got stuff everywhere. It's a mess. So I'm going to work on cleaning that up. Getting this room reorganized to where it's a lot more functional, and I'm not trying to kill the poor puppy every time I open a bridge. And go from there. I've set up 2 more looms so that we have 3 people collecting webs at once. That should help out on speed there. But other than that, we're just kind of chucking through on FurnaceClans. We lost the last liaison that showed up, but we did get the merchants in. I'm going to have to start trying to work on taking over some more of the surface. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that yet. First, I want to get a decent military going, which means at least 10 to 15 years of in-game play as my children get born. So, that should end this episode of FurnaceClans, and I will bring you guys back when we get to the next episode and some more interesting things go on. Thanks for dropping by.